What is up, YouTube? What is up, Facebook? Jimmy Jams back in the house. Today, we are going to be talking about the George Floyd trial opening statements. If you're new here, of course, subscribe to the channel, give the video a like, ring the bell, all that good stuff. Let me close this real quick. And don't forget to share my ugly face on any social media platform you choose. COVID. Just kidding. So anyway, opening statements for the George Floyd trial started today. Okay. So we're going to take a little listen to the opening statements of the George Floyd trial from the defense. And also we're going to listen to the prosecution, and we're going to chop it up about it tonight. Now, I know everybody in the chat room is going to have a difference in opinion on this, so please be respectful of everybody's opinion if it's not the same as yours. So don't be kids tonight, all right? So adult conversation on this topic would be nice. I'm going to pull this video up real fast for you guys, and we're going to listen to it. And it's basically the opening statements from the defense for Officer Shivers, okay? And they talk about George Floyd swallowing drugs. He talks about the fake $20 bill. So I had this video keyed up, but I guess somehow I messed that up. Give me 1 second. Here we go. Let me make sure I got the screen shared. Share screen with audio right here. Bam. Share. Bam. Okay, now y'all should be able to hear the audio from the opening statements. Now, this is the defense for Officer Shivers.
You will learn that on May 25th, 2020, shortly after 7 o'clock p.m., Mr. Floyd and his friend Maurice Hall entered the Cup Foods located at 38th in Chicago. While they were there, they ran into their other friend, or Mr. Floyd's ex-girlfriend, Shawanda Hill. And he offered her Hill. You will hear from Chris Martin, who is the store clerk at Cup Foods. Mr. Martin observed Mr. Floyd.
Y'all can hear that okay out there, right, guys? Can y'all hear that fine? The audio from the opening statements for the defense for the Officer Shivers. Is my sound okay? Can y'all hear it? I just want to make sure y'all can hear everything.
He watched his body language. He interacted with Mr. Floyd in this moment. And Mr. Martin formed the opinion that Mr. Floyd was under the influence of something. You will see the actual video from inside Cup Foods. Mr. Floyd did use a counterfeit $20 bill to purchase a pack of cigarettes.
Damn, counterfeit 20.
Mr. Martin realized this, and first, along with another one of his co-workers named Nabil Walter, went outside to the car where Mr. Floyd, Mr. Hall, and Miss Hill were sitting.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Martin asked Mr. Floyd to come in and either buy the cigarettes, exchange, or return the cigarettes. And you will hear from Mr. Martin that Mr. Hall and Mr. Floyd refused. You will hear that a short time later, Mr. Martin went back to the car a second time. He went back to ask them again, please come inside, give us the money, or return the cigarettes. And that second time, again, Mr. Floyd refused. So at 8:01 p.m., a second clerk from the Cup Foods named Omar Kamara called 911 to report Mr. Floyd. During that call, Mr. Kamara, you will hear, described Mr. Floyd as drunk and that he could not control himself. He's not acting right. He's 6 to 6.5 feet tall.
Big dude.
Accordingly, Minneapolis police officers Thomas Lane and Alexander King were dispatched to the scene and arrived at 8:08 p.m. During this trial, you will hear evidence of what happened in the Mercedes-Benz in the 20 to 30 minutes prior to the police arriving. You will hear from Mr. Floyd's friends, Shawanda Hill and Maurice Hall. This will include evidence that while they were in the car, Mr. Floyd consumed what were thought to be 2 Percocet pills.
Percocet.
Mr. Floyd's
The
friends
perks.
will explain that Mr. Floyd fell asleep in the car and that they couldn't wake him up, that they kept trying to wake him up to get going, that they thought the police might be coming because now the store was coming out. And they kept trying to wake him up. And in fact, one of these friends called her daughter, Miss Hill, Shawanda Hill, called her daughter, Shakira Prince, to come and pick her up because they couldn't keep Mr. Floyd awake. You will see the officers struggle with Mr. Floyd to get him out of the Mercedes-Benz and handcuffed. And you will see and hear everything that these officers and Mr. Floyd say to each other. The evidence will show that when confronted by police, Mr. Floyd put drugs in his mouth in an effort to conceal them from the police. During the course of the investigation, 2 search warrants were executed on the Mercedes-Benz. The first on May 27th of 2020, the second several months later on December 9th of 2020. BCA agents located various pieces of evidence during both of these searches, including 2 pills that later analysis by the BCA revealed to be a mixture of methamphetamine and fentanyl.
Damn, that's a terrible mix right there.
A mixture of an
Speedball.
opiate and a stimulant.
Call that the Belushi.
You
where
will
I'm
learn
at.
that these pills were manufactured to have the appearance of Percocet.
Watch them
While
perks.
standing next to the Mercedes-Benz, Officer King and Officer Lane both asked Mr. Floyd what he was on. And he says he is on nothing. You will learn that because of this intersection at 38th and Chicago is considered a high crime area, the city installs what's called the Milestone Video System. It's a camera that sits high atop a pole and can surveil the entire intersection. When you see these videos pulled back from afar, you will be able to see the Minneapolis Police Squad car rocking back and forth during this struggle. So much so that it catches the attention of the 911 dispatcher, Jenna Scurry. This was not an easy struggle. What was Mr. Floyd's actual cause of death? The evidence will show that Mr. Floyd died of a cardiac arrhythmia that occurred as a result of hypertension, coronary disease, the ingestion of methamphetamine and fentanyl, and the adrenaline flowing through his body, all of which acted to further compromise an already compromised heart.
All right, let me share that.
I've been playing this all night.
I've been planning this all night.
This is my weapon.
Okay, let me shut that up real fast. All right, so they're saying, that he died of a heart attack from the adrenaline and the drugs, that he took a combination of fentanyl and methamphetamines. It sounds a little crazy, because I've really never known any black dudes that I've known over the history of time to do meth. It just ain't something in the black culture that I knew of. You know what I'm saying? When I heard that he had died from meth, I was like, this is a setup, right? That's the first thing I thought. I was like, meth is like a white people drug. That's what you see people strung out on in the trailer parks and strippers and things like that. You don't see black dudes popping Adderall and stuff like that or smoking meth. It's just like non-existent. And I was thinking, man, the police, of course they're going to find something, right? They're going to find something. That's my first thought. I don't trust the police too much. So my first thought was, why does this black dude all of a sudden have meth in his body? It didn't make sense. Right then was my big red flag. I was like, that just don't sound right. It don't sound right to me. Right. So, and then of course we watch a video of the cop standing on his neck and the cop on his back. He had one officer on his legs. And I'm thinking the combination of the knee and his neck, I don't think the knee in his neck was really enough to kill him. but the knee in the back, along with the knee in the neck, one was restricting his air. His chest was compromised because he was being crushed, right? And I believe I ain't no forensic expert, but by just watching the video, if you was like, "Hey, Jimmy, man, what killed that dude?" I'd be like, "The police." You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, "The police killed that dude." But of course, there is evidence in the video that came out. They had pictures, still images of George Floyd taking drugs. Now, here's the thing. If you're a non-violent criminal, okay, and this wasn't George Floyd's first run-in with the police. It wasn't his first confrontation. It wasn't his first resisting arrest. So this wasn't his first go with the police. But if you're a criminal and you're a non-violent criminal, should they be treating you like you a murderer? Because they had George Floyd on the ground treating him like he was a killer, like he done killed the whole neighborhood, like he went on a shooting spree, like he did something super, super horrible. Really, all the dude did was try to pass off a counterfeit 20. Should they do that to you over such a minor crime? I mean, I get it. You break the law. But to stand on your head and your neck, and they always body slam you. I don't care who you are. If the police run up on you, you're getting body slammed. It's like they're waiting to body slam somebody. And, they're talking about this like it's the old school Rodney King thing that, maybe this cop gets off. Everybody's just going to go absolutely crazy and start burning down the city and stuff, over this, that it's just wrong, that, the world pretty much watched the officers stand on this dude's neck for 9 minutes. Even if they say he did die of drugs, let's just say he died of drugs. This cop is at least police brutality at the most. I mean, that's police brutality. There's no way you can watch that video and watch somebody sit on somebody's back and neck for over 9 minutes and not call that police brutality. I don't care if you got a badge on, who you are. That is 100% police brutality. Was that enough to kill him? That's where the debate lies. Like I said, I've done fighting a long time. A knee in your neck might not be enough really to kill you. But that you add that knee to the back where you can't expand your lungs, maybe it is, but I'm not no doctor to know. But apparently the state is going to have all these experts that come in that a doctor is going to say, well, a knee on your neck won't kill you. A knee on your back won't kill you. But I'm saying it's the combination of all of it. And the adrenaline, it was all of it. All of it killed that man. The drugs, the cops, it was a combination probably of all of it. But how do we treat people that are drug addicts? Why do we treat drug addicts like they're such bad criminals? They're a drug addict. They're not a criminal. They need help, right? They don't need to be behind bars. Behind bars don't seem to ever help anybody. Some people come out worse. So, I mean, how do you treat drug addicts is a question, because all the cops did was really roll up on just a drug addict. You know what I'm saying? How do you got to snatch him out the car? You got to stand on him. He's just a drug addict. That's it. He needs help with drugs. You could have went up and been like, why he was trying to pass a counterfeit 20, because there was a lot of rumors that came out that 20 was real. It was real. He didn't even break the law when they did this. But, now we're finding out that the 20 was fake. He did pass it off. He was asleep in the car. His friends that were in the car testified that they watched him take what they believed to be 2 Percocets. That's terrible. That's terrible. And the family got $27 million in a wrongful death lawsuit. So I guess that don't look good for the officers either, because the police pretty much admitting it is a wrongful death. But at the same time, they're saying, hey, let's protect our own. This ain't murder. This ain't murder because this guy was on drugs and they wouldn't have been messing with him. So now, I thought they were going to charge him with first-degree murder, but it's not. It's like they're going to get him something like manslaughter, police brutality. I don't think the cop is going to walk absolutely scot-free. But the prosecutor, we're going to pull up the other one of the prosecutor, what he had to say as far as what went on in the George Floyd situation. He has a totally different approach than what he describes happened. Let's check it.
Because you will learn that on May 25th of 2020, Mr. Derek Chauvin betrayed this badge.
Chauvin, that's how you say his name, Chauvin.
When he used
Chevin,
excessive
Chevin. I was
and
all kind of
unreasonable
messing his
force
name up.
upon the body of Mr. George Floyd.
That you know, that is pretty horrible looking.
Put his knees upon his neck and his back, grinding and crushing him until the very breath, no, ladies and gentlemen, until the very life were squeezed out of him.
What I don't get, let me stop this for a second just to throw a little point out there. What I don't get is why the other officers that were involved are not right there beside them being talked about. It wasn't just this one officer that killed it. The dude on his back, maybe the one on his legs, we can be like, okay, you were holding his legs, which is bad in itself because you held him there where they could kill him. We could say, okay, well, you are the less of the two. But the dude that was directly on his back, crushing him while this dude was on his neck, he should be just as responsible. Okay, you can't hold this one. It was two of them dudes. It's technically three of them that killed George Floyd. So you got to be, you know, I say hold them all responsible. If you're going to try one of them, they should be all three standing there together. You know, I don't know who gave the orders to do that. Like, who was in charge? If it was this guy, maybe it was him that was in charge that was on his neck. That's why it's such a big deal.
You will learn that he was well aware that Mr. Floyd was unarmed, that Mr. Floyd had not threatened anyone, that Mr. Floyd was in handcuffs. He was completely in the control of the police. He was defenseless. You will learn what happened in that 9 minutes and 29 seconds. The most important numbers you will hear in this trial are 929. What happened in those 9 minutes and 29 seconds?
9 minutes and 29 seconds.
Was applying this excessive force to the body of Mr. George Floyd. We have two objectives in this trial, ladies and gentlemen. The first objective is to give Mr. Chauvin a fair trial. Mr. Chauvin has a presumption of innocence. He is presumed to be innocent until proven guilty. We plan to prove to you beyond a reasonable doubt that Mr. Chauvin was anything other than innocent on May 25th of 2020. And our second objective, ladies and gentlemen, is to bring you the evidence, which I'm trying to preview this morning. We are bringing this case, this prosecution against Mr. Chauvin, for the excessive force that he applied onto the body.
It's definitely excessive force. Floyd, definitely 100.
For engaging in behavior that was imminently dangerous in the force that he applied without regard for its impact on the life of Mr. George Floyd.
Okay, so there you have it. Total different how they're approaching it. 9 minutes, 29 seconds of these cops standing on George Floyd's neck. Now, me, I do say it's excessive. Is it the only thing that caused this death? I can't really say that 100 because, you know, he did consume drugs, right? He did eat drugs. He had took drugs before the police got there. He even ate more. You can see the drugs in his mouth in the video from the body cam. I've watched it myself, right? So he did consume drugs. He did struggle with the police. It could have been just as easy as, you know, comply, but, you know, you're on drugs. He didn't comply. He fought. Now, once they had him in them handcuffs, they should have got the hell up off of him. You know, at that point, he was no threat. He's cuffed. You know what I'm saying? He's a big guy, and I think that played a little bit into it, too, is these dudes were probably scared of George Floyd. They were like, damn, he's a big dude. They just tussled with him, so they're going to sit up on him until they think they done tired him out. I don't know what their thought process was, or they're like, we're going to stand on this dude till he's dead. What else could the cop officers be thinking? You know, like, and even when the people came up, you know, one lady identified herself as a paramedic firefighter, and she was like, check his pulse, right then. And she's screaming that she's an EMT. That officer should at least at that point got off of him. He didn't. That is 100% total sex obsessive. Extreme force. It's extreme. There ain't no other way for it, right? It's extreme force, and it led to this man's death. That's how I feel about it. Now, it was a combination, like I said, it ain't just them officers on his back and his neck. It's a combination of the drugs, the adrenaline, the situation, him being scared. But, you know, he did say, like, I believe it was 29 times, I can't breathe. Now, would these drugs killed him if the officers would have got off of him? Maybe not, right? But they didn't. So now you got the combination of drugs, you got people on your back, you got people holding your legs, and you got a knee in your neck. And they basically just suffocated this man to death while people stood around and watched and couldn't do nothing about it. Because you remember there's 4 officers involved. The one officer that was pushing everybody back, he's just as responsible because he sat there and watched these dudes murder him. So he's all 4 of these officers are responsible for his death. And it is a combination of all of it, you know, but still you're responsible because you use excessive force. Things may have been different. He might not have died from drugs if you hadn't been standing on his neck. But with you standing on his neck and he can't breathe, most people would have got up off you, especially with you handcuffed and called the paramedics, right? Not continue to stand on you for that amount of time. I don't think I would want to be stood on. I don't want a knee in my neck for 9 minutes. You know, I don't think anybody else wants a knee in their neck for 9 minutes. Even if I did something stupid and broke the law, I don't want a cop standing on me for 9 minutes. Take me to jail. By that time, you could have gone handcuffed me, put me in the cop car, drove me across town. I'd be already getting processed. You know, they stood on a man that long. They should have given him medical attention. Yeah, they should have gave him medical attention. You can't sit there and, you know, the cop that's pushed everybody back, you know, that's a shame because there was people out there trying to help. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, the citizens seen what was going on. The community seen what was going on. Was that all that necessary for a non-violent criminal? He spent a bad 20. Maybe in the hood, you might get a bad 20 from your homeboy. You don't even know it's a bad 20. Go into the store, spend it. I had a friend. We went to the store and he had like 4 counterfeit 20s that he had got from the bank. Okay. We had the lady at the store check all his money just to see if all of it was fake, but it was 4 counterfeit $20 bills. And the lady at the store said, I'm supposed to take these and call the police, right? But she gave us the 4 counterfeit 20s back. But it was 4 in his stack of money. He had 4 counterfeit 20s. So if you go spend some money not knowing it's counterfeit, you know, maybe he really didn't know it was counterfeit money. Because here's one thing. If you go to the store and, you know, he bought a pack of cigarettes and you spend a counterfeit 20, you know it's counterfeit, right? You know you're breaking the law, you know, you would leave. You would get in the car and leave after you spent the 20. You wouldn't go get in the car and go take a nap. You wouldn't sit there. I mean, I don't think anybody stays at the scene of the crime. You know, you would have to be, and he had his friends with him. But what's real damaging is if these people come up on the stand and say, well, yeah, we watched him consume these drugs before the police got there. Then it adds credibility to what the police are saying, that, you know, the drugs killed him. And the coroner, you know, here's the thing is the coroner's probably done a whole bunch of criminal cases for the police and for the courts. So if you say, well, this coroner's lying, he's making stuff up for the police, you know what I'm saying? He's not credible. Then that opens up all these people that have probably been convicted of crimes because of this coroner. And then they'll be appealing their cases. And this opens a big can of worms, right? So if the state's saying this is the way he died, the judge works for the state, he's going to pretty much go with, hey, this is the way he died, you know? The family, I thought the family would have got more money, to be dead honest. To hear it was like 27 million, I was like, that ain't really that much. My point is, nobody can survive 9 minutes with a knee in your neck and screaming, it's something not right. I agree. It's super excessive. 9 minutes to the neck. I don't really know if 9 minutes to your neck would kill you. You know, I don't know. But definitely 9 minutes with somebody on your neck and in your back, it seems like it would kill you. You know what I'm saying? One or the other. I think you could probably survive 9 minutes with somebody on your back, and you could probably survive 9 minutes with somebody on your neck. But I don't think you can survive 9 minutes with a knee in your neck and a knee right in your chest where you breathe at. So he probably couldn't even expand his lungs. So to me, I hold all three of them, all four of them, just as responsible. You know, just the one cop that wasn't even holding them, he's just as responsible as the cops that killed him. You know, if they're going to do one thing to the one dude, they need to do it to all of them. You know, if you're going to give them 20 years, give all of them 20 years. Y'all made a horrible, terrible decision by treating that man like that. You know what I'm saying? And then when people tried to help, that dude stopped them. Some of them people were trying to run up, push him off of them. So if that cop hadn't have been there, maybe some of them people on the street would have saved George Floyd's life that day. You know, so I say you strap them all up, put them in prison. You know, you learn from your mistakes. You know, you shouldn't have did it. And then it's an example to other police officers for the next person like me that runs a red light and got a suspended license, that I ain't got a cop out there standing on my neck, you know. And I've been somebody that's been a victim of police brutality. I had a cop handcuff me, pick me up over his head, and body slam me on my head, right? So I know police are bad firsthand, right? My neck still cracks when I move it. And it was behind something stupid too. So I know that there's cops out there that'll put their grips on you and try to hurt you quick. This is what they bored, and they're like, oh yeah, this dude, especially if you say something slick, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, cops are crazy. They're just like people. You say something that makes them snap, boom. Next thing you know, you getting body slammed, choked. And you know, you go to court, they never believe the person. They never believe you. Now we live in an era where there's more body cams, but you notice the body cams never work when they're supposed to work. Instance, Virginia Beach, Friday night, that reality star, it was on TMZ. What's her name? I read it earlier. Let me pull up TMZ real quick. But anyway, she was at the oceanfront here where I live at. And I guess, you know, somebody in the club got in an argument with somebody. Some people saying it's gang stuff. But anyway, there's a big shootout. 9 people got shot. 2 people got killed. But here's the situation is one was a reality star. She was shot, says she was an innocent bystander. She was shot. She ran a little ways, dropped dead. Now, they got these posts and these forums where people will be posting what they saw about the crime and stuff like that. They're saying some of these people rolled up in cars that had the headlights tinted red, Pennsylvania tags, things like this. This big shooting occurred. Okay, but in the melee of all that shooting that transpired, I guess everybody was running. So 1 block down from where the reality star girl was shot, this is what they're not telling you on the news, somebody else was shot, but this person was shot by the police, okay? Now, it was an unarmed black man. So they shot him. They said, you know, that he had a weapon. That was the first reports, that he had a weapon. Of course, that's the first thing that comes out. He had a weapon. Police shot and killed him. Well, come to find out, he didn't have a weapon. They did find a weapon, they say, in the area. That's what they said, in the area. So, you know, the first thing is like, oh my God, this is another unarmed black man killed. You know what I'm saying? But come to find out, there's some stuff that people are posting. I don't know how true this is. This is internet posts that, you know, I'm reading in these forums and things about from my local area, that the officer that killed this man went to school with him. Okay. And I was like, that's crazy, because you got to remember, this officer that killed George Floyd also knew him. He knew George Floyd. They had worked at some thing together when he was off duty as security. So this young man that's been killed here in Virginia Beach, he is just graduated college. He does things for the community, you know what I'm saying? And they killed some, you know, and this is what his cousin was saying. And apparently that he was crossing the street to talk to officers because the shooting happened 1 block ahead of where they were at. And the officer shot and killed him, unarmed. You know, so not last night, Saturday night, there was a big Black Lives Matter protest that happened down at the ocean front. But apparently they showed a picture of the guy. It went to school with him. I don't know if this is some beef with the officer and this guy. But yeah, it was just crazy. A lot of and then after them shootings in multiple areas around the area, there was other shootings. They found cars with AK-47s, extended clips, guns. It's just stuff you wouldn't usually see at the beach. You know what I'm saying? Usually you grab your cooler when you go to the beach. You don't grab your AK-47. So I know police have a lot to deal with, and there's crazy people out there, and people kill police all the time. It's a super dangerous job, right? But you got to have respectable people doing that job. You can't just have anybody, because we'll never know if him and George Floyd had beef, because George Floyd's not here to tell us if they had beef. Here's the thing. When he went limp, when he was non-responsive, they still didn't get off of him. So just say if you down there under my knee and I'm trying to hold you down as a cop and you're squirming around, I'm like, okay, you squirm, but I'm going to keep my knee here, just to keep you calm. But once you went limp and you was non-responsive, I would get the hell up off of you. And that's where the crime is committed. Even if drugs killed this man, you standing on his head for 9 minutes and 29 seconds, you got to be held responsible for that. We can't allow that, because that could be your kid, your son. It could be me. It could be you. You know what I'm saying? I do stupid shit. I don't want to get killed by the police. I think these places that are passing laws to where you can't choke people, you can't do certain locks on people, I think that's a good thing, because one thing cops always try to do is break your arm. I don't know what it is. They try to take that thing. They try to touch your skull, right? And I'm not a real flexible person. They will bend your arm shoulders straight out the joint. They're just things they shouldn't do. Especially if you're a non-violent criminal. I can see if you just murdered everybody on the block and the police get you, yeah, they should probably kick your ass all the way to the cop car. Or you're a rapist and they catch you in the act, yeah, they should probably beat you down, and cut the cameras off. But everybody else, they shouldn't cut them damn cameras off for. You know what I'm saying? It's always the cameras misfunction. They always fail. But when you committing a crime, the cameras always work. They always work 100 flawless, 1080i high definition when you're committing a crime. But when the police commit the crime, it's a malfunction. This shit didn't work. It worked for 5 years before this event, but all of a sudden now it don't work. All right, let me catch up on some of what the chat's saying. I went on a little rant right there for a minute. Point is, fishing called you nothing, so you have no right to attack him. Don't be attacking people in the room. Look, guys, this is a touchy subject. People feel different about this. Now, I understood this coming on to this stream. So you guys keep it cool. People are going to have a different opinion of what they think should happen. I agree. I know everybody in the room don't agree with what I think. You know what I'm saying? And of course, some of you guys ain't going to agree. But let's keep it adults. We're all adults. There ain't no little kids. So don't be fighting over somebody's opinion. Everybody is entitled, has the right to their opinion. That don't mean their opinion's right, just like mine. Don't mean mine's right. You know what I'm saying? Just people are expressing their point on it. If it's a shitty point, don't just read it and keep on moving. Don't get into arguments and fights over stuff. I'm just saying, about to get pro wrestling and stuntmen to show you how you can make it look like something. I'm just saying, why this case? I agree, Peach. I was teaching fish the same about Georgia, so I agree. A nice person held a knife to a pregnant woman's belly and robbed him. Now, I'm not saying at any point that George Floyd is a good person. We could sit here and say right now that he's not a good person. That's fine. He could be an absolute horrible person. Horrible. The worst. You know what I'm saying? Still at that, it don't give anybody the right to stand on the man's neck for 9 minutes and his back and hold his legs, right? While he was ODing on drugs. Basically, that's what's happening. The man's ODing. He's telling the police, I can't breathe. He probably couldn't breathe. Well, we know for a fact he couldn't breathe because he died, right? So he's telling the police, even if the police seen him swallow the drugs, right? Even if they seen him, they should have knew that this man just swallowed drugs. Let's get the paramedics. Let's get the paramedics. I mean, if I was a police on the scene and I seen you swallow 8-ball of cocaine, I'm calling a damn ambulance because you're going to die if that bag bursts inside your stomach. You can't just consume that much drugs and think you ain't going to die. And when people do it, I've watched some cops. There was a dude that ate 8 balls of cocaine, right? And I guess he realized what he did. And when he got in the back of the cop car, he looked straight at the cop. He said, look, man, I want to tell you, I was scared. I just ate some cocaine. And the cop said, how much cocaine did you eat? He said, I ate 2 8-balls. That cop said, all right, let's get you to the hospital. He cut the lights on, boom, straight to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? Because he knew them drugs busting your stomach is going to kill you. He didn't care that the man was a criminal. He wanted to save the man's life. Okay? That's a decent cop, right? Cop's like, oh, shit, you really, boom, let's get you some help because you're going to die. Now, when he was begging and other people were coming up, they should have got off that guy. They definitely should have got off of him. Even if he was a horrible dude. He could have been like the Grinch that stole Christmas. I wouldn't want you to stand on the Grinch's neck and back for 9 minutes. I would be like, that man, don't do that to the Grinch. Don't do that, man. You know what I'm saying? It was not heart damage. He died of cardiac failure. Hey, Kennedy. It's good to see you, Kennedy. I ain't seen you in a minute, man. Oh, my God. I am far from perfect, and I have a lot of flaws. So I'm compassionate to a lot of people. That's the thing, is everybody makes mistakes. I mean, he made some horrible damn mistakes. Let's don't twist it. Don't think I condone anything he did. The whole robbing the pregnant woman thing. Honestly, he should have been in prison. Let's be honest. He should have been in prison and not walking the streets. But he was walking the streets. So it don't give anybody the right to kill the man. You know what I'm saying? Just because he's hard. 2 wrongs never make a right. Just because he's a horrible person don't mean he deserves to die. If that was the case, I'd have been dead. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, ooh. You know what I'm saying? I've made millions of mistakes, broke millions of laws, and I'm just glad I'm alive, right? I'm just glad I'll be like, count my blessings, right? Count my blessings. Like, people shouldn't be scared of the police. And when black people tell me they're scared of the police, I'll be like, you should be. I'm scared of the police. You know what I'm saying? So you should be probably extra scared of the police. And that ain't no lie. When I get pulled over, I'm instantly like, I ain't even done nothing. I could be in a perfectly legal vehicle, nothing on me, haven't done one thing, and I'm nervous as shit when a cop pulls me. I don't know why. It's just instinctual. It might be something in my blood. I don't know. I'm scared of the police. It's like, man, I ain't scared like to death. Like I drive by a cop, I ain't doing nothing. I ain't too much worried about it. But when they get behind me, they hit them blue lights. Then I'm like, oh shit, because you just don't know how things are going to go. Cops is like, they be power tripping, man. I swear they be power tripping. You give anybody a little bit of power over anything. We see it with the mods. You know what I'm saying? In our chat room, can you imagine if them were badges, police badges, just our mods? You know what I'm saying? Think about that. I mean, I got good mods, but there's a couple of y'all that be like, pow, pow, for nothing, right? But I'm just saying, there's going to be bad apples and everything. I don't say all police are bad. There's super cool, awesome cops out there that risk their life to save you and everything. I've met some. You know what I'm saying? I've seen cops do crazy shit. I'll be like, dude, you like super cop. You know what I'm saying? So to think all cops are bad, but like somebody told me, if you a good cop and you watch people be bad cops, you're just as bad as them. You know what I'm saying? If you got 100 good cops and 5 bad cops, Now all of a sudden you got 105 bad cops because them 100 good cops ain't doing nothing about the 5 bad cops. You know, if you're a police officer and your friends are doing terrible things, you know, you swear oath to the people, not to your coworkers. You know, and I think that's what police officers have a hard time understanding is they got that good old boy mentality. We're going to look out for each other, right? But you didn't swear an oath to each other. You swore an oath to protect and serve the people, right? So that's where people are getting it confused. And I think, you know, it ain't like we need to defund the police. Maybe we need to give the police more money so that when you go to the police academy, you got to spend more time in the police academy. Be better trained, work in the neighborhoods that you're patrolling, know the people, you know, and I think that would be better for everybody. So if anything, you know, before everything burns down, they say this cop, you know how the states are, they, you know, they're going to protect their own. That's how the way it always is. We've seen that with Rodney King. We watched all that stuff burn. I don't think it's going to be too much difference. History repeats itself. It does. It completely repeats itself. And this is just another Rodney King incident. When they go ahead and say, well, we're going to acquit this due to murder because the coroner is going to say he OD'd, we're going to see stuff go up in flames, right? I mean, I ain't trying to predict a gloomy, doomy thing. I hope, like everybody else, that, you know, they hold these officers responsible, because if they don't, then these cops still can continue to think they can get away with absolutely 100% murder, because this is what this was. You know, it wasn't just them murdered him. If he hadn't have took the drugs, would he have died? That's a hard thing for me to debate. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But I know a combination of all of it killed this dude. Unnecessary too. Just totally, it was just totally unnecessary. Why can't police officers put the guns down and put their hands up? Well, you know, here's one thing. If you just say, okay, we're going to fight. If you get the better of the officer in a fight, then there's a gun. And there are officers. Did you see that one officer? I know, Donut Operator, one of my favorite YouTubers, him and Ryan Upchurch, right? Donut Operator had this video. I think it was like this cop asked this dude, kept running his mouth. His sister ran away or something. And the dude kept running his mouth at the cop. And he was a young cop. And he was like, man, why don't you just sit over there and shut up, right? You don't want these hands to start running your mouth. That's what the cop told him. I don't know if everybody's seen this video. And it's pretty viral. And the cop was like, look, man, I'm going to tell you, you don't want hands to stay out of this thing. Got nothing to do with you. I'm talking to your mama. You know, I'm trying to find your sister. You know, and the dude just kept running his mouth. And he was like, well, if you didn't have that badge and that gun, you know, I would whip your ass. Like, you know, you see so many people tell the police. And the guy was like, I won't put you in jail. You want these hands, you can get these hands. I won't put you in jail. Right? And the dude kept pushing it. And that cop whipped his ass. I mean, whipped his ass, right? Look, and then the cops' buddies, they ran in with that good old boy mentality. Nah, hell, they were about to jump on him, right? And the cop that just gave him the hands, he said, nah, get up off of him. He ain't going to jail or nothing. I told him if he wanted the hands, he can get the hands. He's good. Back up off of him. They fired the cop, right? Charged him with like 4 felonies. But the cop told him, he said, look, man, you just running your mouth. You don't want these hands. You know what I'm saying? So be quiet. You know, mind your own business. And the cop gave him the hands. I mean, I thought you should give, you know, and he kept his word. He didn't put him in jail. I was like, that is a cop. That is a damn cop right there. That's the kind of people, like, hey, man, look, you know what I'm saying? I'll put this gun down. I'll put the CB up and I'll whip your ass. You know what I'm saying? And that's what he did. White privilege is the elephant in the room. Here's the thing. There might be some white privilege if you rich and white, but poor and white is the new black, I guess is the way to look at it. I ain't never seen no white privilege. I can't honestly say I have. I've never been treated any different than, I might be treated worse. You know what I'm saying? Because I got that whole trailer park looking white person look to me. So they just instantly body slam me and think I got drugs on me. You know what I'm saying? So I've never seen it. You know what I'm saying? And if it does exist, I feel cheated that I ain't never been able to use it. You know what I'm saying? But I can tell you firsthand, as far as my experiences, I've never got anything over anybody else in life because I was white. Not that I know of. If it has occurred, and maybe I haven't noticed it, maybe possible, but nothing that I've ever noticed where I go, well, that's because I'm white. You know, I haven't never experienced that. I hear about it a lot, and I'm assuming if you're rich, it don't really matter what color you are in this country. It's when you poor they treat you bad. You know what I'm saying? When you in the hood and in the trailer parks, and the cops roll up on you different than they would do when they pull you in like Beverly Hills and you driving a Mercedes. It's a different experience. And if you ain't lived in those areas or those places, you really can't talk about the experience because you don't know how the police act in the trailer parks and in the projects. You know what I'm saying? And you experience those police might be a little different than the police you're dealing with in your suburban areas or your uppy rich ass neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. I live in a bad area where cops treat everybody like shit. There's no favoritism. There's no privilege. There's no nothing. They treat everybody like a criminal. Bad. Virginia police are bad. Like you a criminal. They don't give a damn what you did. You ran a red light, criminal. They treat you like that. And it's even worse in the jails, you know. So like I said, I'm not for defunding the police or nothing like that. I just think that we need to train our police better. We need to have people police in areas that are from them community, because somebody could have walked out. And this the sad thing is they knew George Floyd. One did, but maybe he didn't recognize him. I don't know that. You know what I'm saying? But what if somebody would have walked up and said, "Man, that's George," instead of fighting him, talk to him. You know what I'm saying? You gave up a fake 20, man. Can you explain that? Instead of just snatching him out the car, throwing him to the ground. But we got really strict drug laws in our country too. Really strict. He was so scared of getting caught with them drugs that he ate it. He was fearful because he'd have got caught with them drugs. What's he going to do? 10, 15 years in prison over he having a drug addiction? We shouldn't treat drug addicts like that in our country. We should help people. There'd be less of it. People think when they go to prison there ain't drugs. Drug addicts go to prison and continue to do drugs. They get out and continue to do drugs. If you don't take somebody that needs help and help them, they'll never get better. Unless their willpower overcomes. Some people do get better without the help. They do it on their own. But the chances are slim without helping drug addicts in our country. And I think most criminal drug addicts, they're not violent. They're thieves of anything. They're trying to feed their drug habit. And if they wasn't on drugs, they wouldn't be thieves. You know what I'm saying? Like I know people be on drugs, be stealing everything. When they clean, they wouldn't do that. It's just not in their mindset to be like, I'm going to steal this. But when they're on drugs and them drugs are talking to them, they're like, well, I'm going to spend this counterfeit 20, or I'm going to steal this microwave, or I'm going to grab this TV and climb out my own window because they so fucked up, don't even know it's their own TV. You know, so that's the bad thing. That's when you know you on drugs. When you stealing your own shit, you might want to seek help, right? You climbing out your own window with your TV, you better call rehab quick, like, you know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Press 1 if you're scared when or if you have been pulled over by the police. Who snitched on George Floyd? Well, here's the thing. If George Floyd would have walked back in there and paid for the cigarettes with the real money, he would have the cops would have never been there. The two employees came out multiple times trying to get him to pay for it. He was sleeping in the van, all messed up. Let's be honest. He was on drugs, right? So he in the van all effed up. The clerks come out like, yeah, man, pay for the cigarettes, And then after about the third time, they go in and call the police. And tell the police, we think he's drunk. He said that the clerk told the police he thought George Floyd was drunk, right? So he knew he was intoxicated on something. He might not have knew what. He might have thought he was drinking wine or something, you know what I'm saying? But he was on them downers. But like I said, the crazy, you know, what threw my red flag up was like black dude on methamphetamines. And I was just like, get the F out of here. Y'all lying now. Y'all lying. That's a lie, right? I gotta stick with my black brothers and sisters. I ain't never seen no black people do no methamphetamines. Never in my life have I seen a black person do any methamphetamines. Does anybody know any black people do? Am I wrong? Has anybody, white people, y'all ever seen a black person do methamphetamines? I've never, in my whole entire life. I've never heard one black dude ever mention it. Like, never. Black girl, stripper, never. Ever. And when they said that, I could have believed the fentanyl. They said, yeah, he had fentanyl heroin in the system. I've been like, okay, that's believable. You know what I'm saying? But when they said methamphetamines, I was like, what? Red flag, right? Red flag right there. Red flag. Me, Jimmy. Famous Dex. He does methamphetamines? Maybe I'm out the loop. Maybe, you know, people are transitioning over to some drugs, but I've never in my life, not one time, and I've chilled with many people, never heard them say, I want some meth. You know, it's never, never, never. So if it's getting into the people are doing it like that, I mean, I don't know. I don't see it around here like that. In prison in Alabama, they're doing meth. I ain't never been in prison in Alabama, but see, I didn't know that. I'm learning something new for the first time. I swear I didn't. You know, I was like, black people don't do meth. That ain't their drug. You know, maybe some Molly. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a little bit of Molly. Unknown caller. Oh God, this should be good. Jams TV. Okay, look, guys. The call-in line is open, but if you do call in, turn down the volume in the background, even if you're a troll. Okay, just some advice for the trolls. If you're a troll and you're calling, turn down the volume in the background, at least so it ain't echoing and we can, you know, halfway hear you say something inappropriate. Okay. But make sure you turn it down if you call. If I call and I can hear myself echoing in the back, it just rings in my headphones, so I have to end the call. So make sure if you call in, you turn off the YouTube behind you. I don't need to, you know, you don't need to hear me on YouTube and the phone at the same time. Hey, Jimmy, where's Dolly? Dolly has moved to his own channel. You can search it. It is called Dolly Vision. Okay, Dolly Vision. Check him out. I think he's going to do a video tonight or maybe tomorrow morning. I'm not quite sure. You'll have to check with Dolly, but he's done took over the channel. I did my last stream on that channel today, some video gaming. But now it's all Dolly. So let's see how he does, right? Let's see how Dolly does. If he blows up past me, I'm going to be a little upset. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Jimmy, what's your net worth? Broke. My net worth is broke. If you Googled it, it would say that dude is broke as shit. You know what I'm saying? It'd be broke and would have my Cash App next to it. Money sign Jams TV. That's my net worth. Okay. Okay, unknown caller. Let's see. Okay, wait, 2 unknown callers. We can only take 1 unknown caller at a time. Jams TV.
Hey, Georgie.
What is up? Who's this? Where are you calling from?
The old float down here, Georgie.
You're in the old. He hung up. Man, that was good. That was good. Georgie. I don't know who Georgie is, but he's the old float. I don't know. People are weird. You know, it's like that old song, People Are Strangers. People are strange when you're a stranger. Trey White, right? That was shoddy. You know what I'm saying? That just called. Okay, another unknown caller. Jams TV. Just called. Okay, another unknown caller. Okay, you got me playing in the background. Can't hang it that one. Look, guys, if you call with your number block, I ain't gonna take the call because then it's just a waste of my time. If you're a troll, just go ahead and use your real number. I don't care. I ain't gonna call you back. You know what I'm saying? But don't block the number. Just in case I'm gonna troll you back later tonight. Shotty coming out in 2025. George is from the movie It. Oh, okay. Okay. He's talking about some Stephen King type. Okay, Georgie. I got you. I got you. Sorry, I'm a little out the loop. A little out the loop. Now, let me ask y'all this. How many people think this cop is going to walk? Press 1 in the chat room if you think the cop is going to end up walking. 2, you think they will end up putting him away for, what is it, second-degree murder. I just want to see where y'all at in the chat room with it. 1, he walks. 2, he's charged with second-degree murder, which I believe second-degree carries 20 to life. Rhino says 2. Fishing Up a Storm says 1. I didn't hear what happened. All right, well, you out the loop, homie. I ain't going back. I talked for an hour on it. 2, you think he's going to be convicted second-degree murder. 2, he's going to be convicted. 1, he's going to walk. J Beat says 2. Mitch says 2. Yeah, Alex. Tammy says 2. Opening statements today. Alex says 3. You know, he got to be the oddball out. You know what I'm saying? Timothy says 2. So a lot of people are going to believe he's going to be convicted. Now, here's the thing: when they talk to the prosecutor, they asked him, you know, there's similarities to this and what happened with Rodney King. You know, do you think that it'll be like this? Will you think he'll be acquitted? You know, after all them cops beat Rodney King. And he said, you know, the state of Indianapolis where this occurred, the jury is more diverse. That Rodney King's jury was more old white people, and that the jury there is more diverse. So that basically you're saying there'll be, you know, more people of color in the jury, and most likely what he's hoping is there will be a conviction. But there's so many things that, you know, I get police brutality, 100. But with them saying drugs killed him, it's going to be hard to convict this guy. And I honestly think, you know, much as I like to see him get 20, 25, 30 years, I think he's going to walk. Because I do believe history repeats itself. And this is just like Rodney King. And this officer, they're going to protect their own, the judges, the coroners, the officers, and this cop's going to walk. Jams TV.
Oh, fuck that nigger.
Why people got to be so strange? You know what I'm saying? Hateful. That's when people hear stuff like that, they think everybody's a racist. You know what I'm saying? And I know you're just trying to troll, but, you know, this dude lost his life. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, if the next... So, now, this is why the cops stand on people for 9 minutes right there. For that dude right there. Jams TV. All right, you ain't talking, you got to go. Now people just want to hear the phone ring, you know. But it is what it is. Please stop with the racist stuff. That's totally unnecessary, totally disrespectful. And the only person you're really disrespecting is yourself, because you're making yourself look like a fool. Jams TV. All right, if you call with an unknown number, we ain't taking it. We ain't taking no unknown. You got to be at least smart enough to change your number up. If you ain't that good of a troll, I can't even mess with you, because you ain't on my trolling level. You ain't on my trolling level at that point, okay? You got to be at least know how to change a damn number or something. Star 69 just ain't cutting it no more. These trolls are crazy right now. Yeah, I know, because when you talk about a topic that people are split on, of course, it's going to be a little bit of people arguing and things like that. That's why I told everybody in the very beginning, be respectful. This man lost his life. I feel like it don't matter if he's a criminal. I got friends that are criminals, Not that I choose you. You can't always pick your friends. But I wouldn't want to see none of them stand on for 9 minutes for some petty crime. You know. Now, if you're a murderer or some crazy stuff and they're trying to apprehend you and you fight with them, yeah, whip your ass. But if you just some dude that's hooked on drugs trying to spend a counterfeit 20, then nah. I told you guys the call, I'm not taking the call if it's an unknown number. Okay, so if you can't post your number, stop calling because I'm just gonna hit you every time. It ain't but like it ain't a lot of work for me. It's just one button. I can do that all day. I don't. And plus, it's working my arm muscles. So like when I get these big ass guns for hanging up on trolls, you know what I'm saying? Then I'll have you guys to thank for it. Post the numbers. What numbers? The number's up. My number's on the screen right there. But if you call from a block number, I ain't taking it. Okay? You call from a block number, I ain't taking it. That way, you say something too crazy, I can come to your house tonight and eat your food and drink your beer. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to say something crazy, you better at least have some food and beer in your fridge. As soon as you do, I'm going to track your IP address. I'm coming over, and I'm going to be playing your Nintendo when you wake up. All right? So call if you want. Came to see who's being racist to put them on my list. Okay. Hung jury. I'm telling you. Okay. Unknown caller. All right. So I'm going to pull up my StreamYard for my locals, my regulars. That way, and then I can stop this phone from ringing. And I know my regulars, we can have a adult conversation about this without it being trolls and people saying inappropriate stuff and things like that. Like this person. All right, let's go ahead and close that. Phone lines are down, so you can call that number till your fingers bleed. This is the StreamYard link. Of course, guys, I got to see you before I can bring you up. You know the rules. You already know the game, right? This is what shuts down the trolls, and they hate it. They hate it, right? They can't get in. They can't get in because we got a circle, right, that usually come up here and chop it up. So we just cut you out. We ain't got to hear the phone ringing at one button. See, I like trolls, but they got to be funny. You know what I'm saying? All right, we got Buddha. Buddha, show yourself on camera real quick. All right, you can go back to thumbnail if you want. What's up, Buddha?
You know, I just got my clean cut, bro. You know?
Damn, Buddha, how did you get that pretty girlfriend?
Hey, what? Shut up, nigga. Hey, no, you know.
How you get that pretty girl, Buddha?
Cause, bro, you gotta have that weed, bro.
He said you gotta have that weed. Okay, so what do you think about Buddha? What do you think about these opening statements in the George Floyd thing? What's your thoughts on the whole George Floyd situation?
You know what? I think it was all part of a COINTEL thing anyways. Me being a conspiracy brother, I shouldn't really have a say-so because they'll probably come and assassinate me. So, yeah.
Okay, if it wasn't a conspiracy, do you think these cops murdered them? Or is you saying, I know your conspiracy is this is
I
just
think they murdered them because
smoke and mirrors.
They shouldn't have had dude like on the ground pavement like that. You know what I'm saying? They could have handcuffed this dude to a gurney or something. You know what I'm saying? Took him to the hospital, gave him some whatever shots they be giving people to knock them out. You know what I'm saying?
Tiffany, in the backstage, go to your thumbnail. Switch to your thumbnail. I'm gonna bring you up here.
Yeah. Go like this.
All right, we got Jake Overton. I don't know who that is. Jake, you have
from State Farm?
I don't know. It might be Jake. He might, what are you wearing, Jake? What are you wearing? We got to see you. All right. What's up, Tiffany?
I just came to tell Buddha Mikey look a little bald.
What are you talking about, man?
Why are you hating?
Look it. That's the cut, bro.
Why does it shave completely down?
It's Mr. No, it's because I got my hair in braids. I'm on braids.
Hey, Tiff, you know who that dude from the Scrappy Young Lads is?
No.
Okay, well, look him up. He's the white Buddha Mike.
See?
Okay. It's a skullet. Like a skullet.
You have a lot of hair, but why is it shaved so short on the sides?
Because I sweat. I don't like sweat, and dreads don't work well with sweat. They start
you just
to
do a
mold up.
little tiny bit longer.
But look at no,
He has
and
a dread.
I just got it cut.
He has
It's
a dread
supposed to be
hawk.
a mohawk. It's a dread hawk. You don't see that?
I
It's a dread
see
hawk.
it.
Hey Jay, in the backstage, I can't bring you on until I see you, man. I gotta
Yeah,
see
you
you
gotta
first.
show your face.
You gotta show your face. You don't have to show it on the live, but I gotta see you in backstage before I can bring you in.
Yeah.
Okay, he
Make
hung
sure
up. So see, that just shows that's how you shut the trolls down. You know what I'm
you
saying?
gotta make sure there ain't no sack flashers and stuff. You feel me?
Yeah. We can't have no sack flashers.
I don't know how to make cactus right side up.
Wait,
Where's cactus?
you gotta turn on your auto rotate.
Pug.
I have headphones in. He won't be able to hear you.
Oh, okay. All right. He's just laying there staring. He's like, "What's up?"
I turn mine sideways, and you can see like this.
So you don't look so bald like that, Buddha.
I don't
I
know
know,
how
man.
to make it right.
Pull back. You look pretty bald.
Pull back.
Oh, okay. I'm leaving because I can't figure it out. Bye,
Hey,
guys.
this is that Waka Flocka on the left. Look at see, it's Waka Flocka.
Waka Flocka.
And then over here, it's like, what the heck's going on? This ball.
Let's see what this is. I got a private chat in the back. Okay,
Yeah,
I got that. That was Tiffany.
Oh, okay.
George Soros has paid the cops to kill, not to worry, and kick off all the rioting across the U.S. In my
I'm with Cindy Lou.
opinion. I don't know if that's the. You think that George Soros went and paid these dudes and said, "Hey, kill somebody"? That's crazy.
No. See, the thing is that if you're getting paid, man, you're gonna do whatever the heck you're gonna do, man. You made the money already. You know what I'm saying? It's time to act funny. People do some strange for a little bit of change now. You know that, right?
I mean, people do some strange things for a little bit of change. Of course, I know that, but I don't think George Soros that went to the police and said, "Hey, go kill this dude," and it's gonna make national news. Because usually people get killed, they don't even make the news, Buddha Mike.
No. See, the thing is, like, Freemasons have this thing where they I said too much, but they have this thing where they really sacrifice certain people. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, it looks like I got a client. Hold on.
All right, I'll bring you back in a minute. All right, there's Buddha Mike. His take is conspiracy. I don't believe it's a lot of conspiracy involved. No sack flashers, Buddha Mike. I think it's just bad situation. It was everything accumulated led to the man's death. The cops standing on his neck, him taking the drugs, all of it combined was enough to lead to George Floyd's death. And to me, if I was on the jury, I would have to convict the dude of some type of at least some type of murder charge. I mean, it couldn't be manslaughter. You didn't accidentally kill him. At the 3-minute mark, well, I had my knee in his back for 3 minutes. That might have been an accident. But about at the 9-minute mark, you should have knew that's murdering somebody.
Yeah.
How long do you think a cop should be able to keep their knee in your neck? Just until you're handcuffed?
Shit.
Because all cops do it. I've had a knee in my neck. I didn't die. In my back. Tased. Been there. Done it. Handcuffed, body slammed. You ever been body slammed on your head, handcuffed with a mic?
I usually comply. You know why?
I try to comply.
Look, I'm 6'2", man. Last time I tried to show any least resistance at all, they tried to handcuff me, put my hands behind my back. At the same time, they were planning on pushing me forward towards the wall, and there was a table in front of me. I jumped on the table, and they gave me resisting arrest.
Oh man, so they're trying to push you head first into the wall. Yeah. And, you're a big guy, and that with a small cop, they might have that intimidation factor. So
Dude,
they got to be rough.
Dude, you know how many people came up in the house? It was 6 officers. Dude.
Christine, hey, Jimmy, how you doing? I'm doing pretty good. I can't complain too much. I'm still alive. How are you doing? So, like everybody's just tuned in, we're talking about George Floyd, the opening statements today. There was a lot of rumors that 20 was real, but like they're saying now, that 20 was absolutely counterfeit.
Well, who's they?
The prosecution, the store.
Yeah.
All right, who is this man? Yo, what's up, homie?
He kind of looked like Smoke for a second.
I know. I thought that's who I thought it was. He tried to show some porn. I clipped him before he got a chance. You late. You late, homie. I knew it. That's why I clipped him. Now we know who you are because we seen your big ass ugly head.
Looking like
you know what I'm saying?
John Goodman face ass nigga.
He didn't even get the porn off. He didn't even get it off. So,
hey, he looked like John Goodman's little half brother and stuff.
Little retarded brother.
His
that's
little
how people are.
stepchild.
That's how sucky people are. That's how bad they'll try to hate and try to get you kicked off YouTube. Now we know what a loser looks like because all we seen was you. So, that was too funny. He thought he had it. He thought he had it too.
Roofers are furious about this new metal roofing product that's going viral. And right now,
let's just make sure. He thought he had it. He thought he had it too. When he was absolutely counterfeit.
Well, who's they?
The prosecution for. All right, hold on, guys. Yeah. All right, who is this man? Make sure he didn't get nothing. What's up, homie?
He kind of looked like Smoke for a second.
I clipped him. Okay, we good. I just wanted to make sure. He got clipped right before he got the chance. He thought he was slick. He done showed his mug and everything. I'm gonna post pictures and memes of this dude for the next 2 months. He'll be on Pornhub tomorrow. I'm gonna face app his ass and just like some.
You're wrong.
You know you can't out troll me, dude. Now you done started the war. I done seen you. I got you on video. Now I'm gonna track you down. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna track you down, homie. I'll know who you are by tomorrow. I got people all around the world.
All around the world. People
all around the world. We getting you now. We on the hunt. We on the hunt for you like Dog the Bounty Hunter. You big block-headed having ass dude. And you're watching gay porn. There ain't no reason no grown man should be sitting around with a big ass head like that watching no gay porn.
You know what he's doing it for?
Oh, I know. Because he likes gay porn. Okay, keep it PG, baby. Keep it PG. Keep it PG. We know the trolls are out tonight. Okay, they're out. That troll was even willing to show his face to try to get some porn onto the channel. Okay. I gotta give it to him. He was brave. He's like, all right, I'm gonna show my big ass Klingon head, and then I'm gonna throw on some gay porn. But this ain't my first rodeo. You know what I'm saying? I was a circus clown in my first rodeo, but now I done moved on to bigger and better things. What's up with you, Todd? What is your take on this whole damn George Floyd situation? Opening statements from the trial today.
I don't get into things like this.
You don't?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a good answer.
Because my opinion is not going to lie with everybody else. So I'd rather just keep my mouth shut.
Well, let's keep it not respectful. And what's your opinion that he shouldn't have been out there breaking the law?
I just rather shut up.
Okay. All right. We'll take that. Plead the fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4. The fifth. Todd is pleading the fifth. He knows.
Yeah, I plead the fifth. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
So how is the streaming coming along, Todd?
The what?
I overslept today.
Yeah, no, you didn't hit me out.
Yeah, I missed the meeting. We were supposed to the rendezvous point. You know what
I'm saying? See, wanted in.
I jumped late, Todd. I'll put it in Fortnite terms for you. I just jumped late.
Yeah.
So,
I know that.
But I guess over the next few days we'll find out more about this George Floyd stuff.
All right.
I think. Go ahead, Todd. I'll let finish talking.
C wanted to get in on that lesson too.
Oh, on the StreamYard and all that stuff. Okay. Well, yeah, I'll do that. We'll just have to set up a day and a time that I do it.
Hey, well, I'm gonna have to join that shit too, man, because I need a lesson.
Oh yeah, I need to join my class, my seminar.
You know what you need a class on, Buddha?
Hey, well, Jimmy, I'm
you know what you need a class on. Putting out content is what Buddha needs us to do.
I'm subscribed to the members only channel. I just need I'm talking about for the PC so I can do it for my laptop, please. Otherwise, I'm not trying to do it on the lifetime.
All right, the streets are in the building. Rapper Don is in the house. You want to come up and rap tonight, Rapper Don? Come up with us.
Yo, Buddha.
What, bro?
You know what you
All
need
right,
to take a lesson on? How not to steal people's loot in Fortnite.
Hey, you know how first it is? It's, I gave you 50% of that capping in the rapping.
And then Jimmy needs to take a class on staying with his teammates.
Portal, bro.
Huh?
That looks like the opening of a portal.
I know. That's what I thought, too. Yeah, this is somebody showing the screen to the computer. This chick looks like she's about to strip any second. Yeah, it just shut down. Ah, they thought they were slick. They're trying hard tonight. That was a good one. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
At least it wasn't gay porn this time.
Yeah.
You know.
Ugly bitch.
They gotta try harder though. Damn, they're letting me down. I thought the trolls were better.
Who's in the private chat?
Don, what up? What up, Alex?
I think it's just I think it was a message. Lizzie said ugly B. I guess
that's a message to you. I know it ain't a message to me. You know what I'm saying?
I think he was talking to Todd.
Nah. Talking to Buddha Michael there.
They're totally talking to Todd.
With that clay on looking head.
Why are you trying to steal my jokes? That's $5, Todd. I want it in the super chat right now for using it. That shit's copyrighted. You got to be all original. How do you kick somebody from a chat? I got to know how to do that. Hold on. Kick from studio. Okay.
Don't be mad.
That way I ain't got to watch gay porn in the background. I'm sitting here trying to talk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if you click on the 3 little dots, you should be able to block them from the streaming.
I did. I blocked them. But all they do is create another account, come back as Woody Woodpecker or something. You know what I'm saying?
That'll be something we catch for another day.
On let me see. How did I do this? No, not that. That. There we go. I clicked on the wrong button. Oh, with trolls, they be trying hard. I like the funny trolls, like more the phone calls, but I hate when people just keep calling and hanging up because I got to hear the phone ring a million times. Yeah. And if I had a way to mute the phone to where it just popped up on my screen that somebody was calling, but I don't know how to mute the ring, you know. So I got to figure that out. Maybe I'll Google search that. How do you cut the Google phone ringer off, but still get the call? You know what I'm saying? To where I see it come up on my screen, but it's not ringing in my headphones. Because y'all can hear that when it rings, right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, it's loud too. It's loud as shit in my headphones.
Unfortunately.
Too. He's like, unfortunately. Okay, well, look, I'm going to get out of here. I ain't going to stay up here too late with this. I got some other stuff I want to work on tonight. I might get a couple video games in. But I appreciate talking to you, Buddha. Appreciate talking to you, Todd.
You forgot my name or what?
What? Whose name? What's your name again?
I don't know. You got a little hesitation in there.
Bob. Your name's Bob? Bob. All right, Bob.
Later.
Okay, make sure y'all add Bob 420 Gaming over there. See you, Jimmy. All right, Alex, Missa, Tammy, Little Lily, Tiffany, all you guys. I appreciate everybody coming by. If you haven't given the video a like yet, make sure you give it a like on your way out. And I will catch up with you guys later. Deuces.